Hello everyone, my name is Gamaliel, but you can all call me G. Now in this life, we are going to have to make a lot of decisions. Some are going to come easy, others you will have to put in a whole lot of prayer, a whole lot of thinking. But how do you come up with a good decision? How do you know that a choice that you've made is what is actually best? I think we can find that in Proverbs chapter 18, where we can see in 3 verses the 3 basic characteristics of how to make a good and sound decision. Now, if we look at Proverbs chapter 18, verse 13, it says, "Spouting off before listening to the facts is both shameful and foolish." So the first thing that we have to do is to know the facts. Before you make a decision, you have to understand everything that is going into it. That is why you can't trust gossip. That is why you can't trust what people tell you. When you decide to do something, you have to see for yourself. You have to put in the work to examine every single detail that you can to know the most about that thing. Don't go off of people's words. Sometimes people have biases. Sometimes people don't even know what they're saying. Which is why it is important to know the facts of everything. Don't just trust something that someone told you because, oh, they're my friend. Make sure you actually look into it. Know what is going on before you make your decision. Now, if we look at verse 15, it says, "Intelligent people are always ready to learn. Their ears are open to knowledge." Now, the second thing is to always have new ideas. Always be open to them. Sometimes we can always think that only one way works for every situation, but that's not always true. God has given us such creativity. God has given us such wonderful ways to think of solutions to different problems. Your way may not always work, which is why you can always go to some other people. See what they do. See what they believe. See how they can help you. That's why you have to be open to new ideas. But like we said, we have to know all the facts to those ideas, because not all ideas are right and not all ideas are true. And if we look at verse 17, it says, "The first to speak in court sounds right until the cross-examination begins." Now, at first, this was a kind of confusing verse for me because I was like, cross-examination, what is that talking about? But when I looked deeper into the verse and, did my own research, it was basically saying that we have to hear both sides of an argument. When you listen to someone and they tell you certain things, at first you start to believe them. They say this about one person and you say, oh, they're the ones that had that experience at first, so they're definitely correct. But once you start speaking to the opposite person, once you start speaking to the person that is being talked about, you may sometimes see that what is being said is not even true at all. That it is just lies after lies after lies. Which is why it is important to hear both sides of the story. Don't just believe one person. And it's amazing because it's like all of these 3 ideas, they all just come together. They all play off of each other because you need all 3 to make good decisions. Whether it's about who your friends are, where you're going to work, who you're going to be with for the rest of your life, what you're going to do with your life. Those 3 ideas all play together. Which is why it is important to 1, know the facts, 2, be open to new ideas, and 3, hear both sides of the story. But as you all know, Besides those three ideas, the most important thing is to have God first. See what He thinks. See what He wants. Go to Him for every decision, for everything that you want, for everything that you need. Go to Him first, and He will guide you. So next time when you want to make a decision, go back to Proverbs chapter 18. Think of these three ideas. And always keep God first. Always let Him know for everything. All right? I'll see you in the next video.